Good morning, and welcome back. I know this isn't the usual start to my philosophy videos. While on my honeymoon, I had a few technical difficulties with my camera, and I lost the intro and the first question to this philosophy set. So, instead, let me show you a quick run-through of the maker/hacker space that the Airborne Surfer uses, and we'll get into the questions. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, secret link at the end. See y'all later. Is life meaningless if we can live forever?
Ooh.
You know, in short, does death put life in perspective?
Yeah, it's the question of the vampire with eternal ennui.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, oh, life is so boring. I've done everything, literally and figuratively everything. I've seen language come and go. I'm turning into Charlton Heston. Damn you, dirty apes! But yeah, it's a good question. Like, what gives you meaning? You know what? Yeah, I think that's a bit of a personal question. You know, person by person, what actually gives you meaning? Is life meaningless? That you don't have that limited finite time to get stuff done. I feel like there's some people that need more time, that could use that time to do something meaningful.
But they already know death is coming. What if there is no...
Right.
With death, there's a certain amount of urgency to live.
I feel like, and then of course you get into the scientific definition of forever, because at some point, 5 billion years from now, there's not going to be a planet Earth. It's going to be absorbed into Sol. So
that's even assuming we're still even here as a species.
Yeah, but if not
propagated out or whatever.
If you could live forever, that means that you're not going to die from any causes, natural or unnatural. So, do you just hang out there and choke in the vacuum of space? Do you become Captain Jack Harkness in the face of Bo?
Oh yeah.
Well, you are not alone.
Moisturize.
Oh no. Oh, the bitchy trampoline.
But this kind of also puts it. There's got to be a limit to what you can remember and know up here.
Right. Yeah. Well, there is a physical finite limit, as we understand. The brain.
Even if we haven't found it yet, there is a limit somewhere.
Yeah. So you will forget more stuff than you'll ever know at that point. You will literally have forgotten more than you will know. Because
does that make things? Yeah. Does that change the equation? Because I know with the vampire equation, they remember everything.
Right. Well, some of them do. I think there's. I'm trying to remember. There's like one or two, interpretations where they have forgotten like a lot of old stuff, and they just sort of remember whose version was that? I want to say it was like the Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman as Dracula. I want to say it was that version where he mentions that he's forgotten a lot of things, he's forgotten a lot of people that he's known over the years.
I don't know, but that's something that's not played up very often. And I think that'd be so much cooler. Dude, during the 1600s, I was just wasted. Most of the 1700s were just kind of a blur.
Like Leslie Nielsen in Dead and Loving It.
Yeah.
It's just oh no. Yeah.
And why do you think I was over here? I was over in North America, partying with some natives and having a good time. I didn't know anything about the plague.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Not my fault.
But I mean, there has got to be a limit regardless, and would that change your view on life? I mean, because we see things as permanently etched, even though the human memory is so flawed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We see things that, as we remember them, it's locked in there, like in a vault or in a filing cabinet or something.
Right.
But that whole living forever, that changes that whole
So
game.
here's a question. Here's a question. If we take into account the fallibility of human memory over time, would you forget that you are immortal? Would you eventually forget that fact? Could you eventually forget that fact?
Kind of like if you go on hiatus for 2 or 3 years and don't talk to anybody.
Right. Yeah. So like, do you forget this fact and thus live your life as you are mortal? Would that then give you meaning? See how I lawyered my way out of that question?
I mean, well, it could give you meaning to try and expand your memory as much, or you know, work on a problem until you forget the original premise. Kind of like the idea of going to bed without answering a question. You wake up in the middle of the night, you know it. Well, maybe you just do something for a century or two and you have an epiphany.
Right. There's an episode of Doctor Who where the Doctor is trapped in this prison, so to speak, and he spends so much time, like he's walking around the prison and he starts noticing, like, you know, skeletons piling up and things like that. And he notices how the stars are in different places, and just all these changes he starts noticing over time, and he forgets. As soon as he gets there, he forgets everything that happened before. And it's this weird, like, he's trapped in this weird time loop. And it turns out that, like, he's actually being killed over and over and over and over again. And he's actually been in this prison for millions of years because he doesn't remember that he's there, and so he has to discover the way out all over again every single time. And it turns out there's like this big humongous diamond or something like that that's blocking the exit, and so he gets to it, and there's this thing that follows him around that eventually kills him because he's trapped down there against the diamond, and so it kills him and he starts over again. But there's this whole, like, you know, larger meaning, sort of symbolism to it, that he's got this big diamond, and so he finds it and he just starts punching it. He just starts punching, and eventually, after millions of years, he actually breaks through it and escapes.
Diamonds are relatively brittle.
Well, I mean, this is some sort of, like,
Yeah, I know.
space diamond, you know, whatever. It's a very hard mineral, and it's very large, and it takes him a very long time to break through it with his bare hands. I mean, he's an old man doctor. It's the Peter Capaldi doctor. So it's just
this is when it was
fairly
still black
recently.
and. Oh, this is recent.
Yeah, it's fairly recently.
Oh, I thought this was an old one.
No, it's a newer one. It's it's with the Clara. It's part of the Clara story arc.
Yeah.
It could have been done better. Much like everything Stephen Moffat touches, could have been done better. But he's making the big bucks and not me, so.
Yeah, maybe he has a different formula.
He's just very Scottish. He's very Scottish. That's my terrible Scottish accent. It's becoming more of a Captain Ramish.
See, that's better. Channel your Red October.
Channel my, Sean Connery. Sean Connery.
Yeah, the hot shingles in your area. So guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I know a lot of these questions I had this week were more on the esoteric side. It kind of went off on some weird, kind of deep tangents.
You gotta pick up your feet a little bit.
But, I mean, we've been doing this for 6 months now. It's time to really get into some strange, philosophical, quandaries and thoughts. And
Hey, if it's not worth diving deep, it's not worth diving.
no, if you're going to do it, do it.
That's right.
So, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And remember, I release content to the best of my ability every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you like this guy on here, Matt the Airborne Surfer.
Yeah, if you like engineering, if you like hacking things, making things, tearing stuff apart and putting it back together in new and interesting ways, check out my channel. There's going to be a link somewhere in doobly-doo.
Somewhere in descriptions or a
Yeah.
clicky thingy.
Yeah, so wherever that happens to be, check it out. The uploads are weird just because it's very technically oriented and it takes a long time to build things. So, but yeah, just you'll enjoy it.
Especially if you like weird, cool stuff. I'll take some pictures or like a quick run through with the shop too.
Yeah, sure. Welcome to my shop. Let me shave your crop. Da 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 da. Daintily, daintily.
Oh, it was a great show.
Oh yes.
So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.